My name is Elena. I am 28 years old. I am an artist living in a small apartment in New York City. Painting is my passion, but it does not always pay the bills. Sometimes I sell a large painting. When that happens, I have enough money for weeks. I buy good food like steak and fresh vegetables. I feel rich and happy. But other times, I do not sell anything for 2 or 3 months. During those times, I have very little money. I eat simple meals, and my life feels very unstable. I love my apartment, but the rent is very high. Recently, I have had a big problem. I did not pay the rent for 1 month. Then I missed the second month. Now it's the third month and I still cannot pay. My bank account is completely empty. The landlord, Mark, was going to come soon to collect the money. I felt worried all the time because of this debt. I tried to hide inside my home. I did not answer the telephone. I did not want anyone to see me. One day, there was a knock on the door. My heart beat fast. I knew who it was. I opened the door slowly. It was Mark. "Elena, we must talk," Mark said seriously. "It has been 3 months. I need the rent now. I cannot wait anymore." I felt ashamed. I looked at him and pleaded, "I know, Mark. Please listen. Can you give me just 1 more week? Only 7 days. I have a buyer who wants a painting. I will get the money soon." Mark did not yell. He did not look angry. He just looked tired. He stepped inside my apartment without asking for permission. He looked less like a strict landlord and more like a man worried about his own problems. He stood very close to me. "Is there another way to resolve this?" he asked. His eyes moved to my lips. I knew what he meant. The debt was huge, and I had no money. This felt like the only solution. I did not pull away. We kissed, and for a short time, I forgot he was my landlord. We spent the night together. I felt safe in his arms. The next morning, Mark acted differently. He avoided my eyes. He looked serious as he put on his shirt. I worried that he did not like me at all. Perhaps he only used me to solve the rent problem. I waited for him to say something sweet, but he left without looking at me. I felt confused. 2 days passed. I hoped the rent issue was solved. As I walked down the hall, I saw my neighbors, Mrs. Gable and Mr. Vance, standing near the stairs. They were whispering. When they saw me, they stopped talking and stared. I smiled at them, but they did not smile back. As I walked past, Mrs. Gable whispered loudly to Mr. Vance, "That is the girl. She pays her rent with her body. It is disgusting." I froze. My heart stopped. I ran back to my apartment and locked the door. I felt dirty. The wonderful night I shared with Mark now felt like a huge mistake. Did Mark tell them? The thought made my stomach hurt. Did he destroy my reputation? That evening, Mark came back to my apartment. I hoped he would hug me, but he stood far away. "Elena, the neighbors are talking," he said coldly. "They say I treat you differently because we slept together. These rumors are bad for my business." I felt a sharp pain in my chest. He cared more about his business than my feelings. To him, I was just a secret. "You cannot stay here, Elena," he continued. "You still owe the rent money and you need to leave." My heart broke. He was evicting me to save his reputation. Tears filled my eyes, but I decided not to cry. I looked him in the eyes. Listen to me, Mark, I said firmly. I spent the night with you because I liked you. It was not a payment. You are a coward. You are hiding behind your business because you are afraid of what people say. I packed my clothes immediately. I am leaving, I told him. I walked out of the apartment, leaving him alone in the empty room. I felt pain, but I also felt free. 2 months passed. I moved to a new, cheaper apartment. I worked hard and saved enough money to pay the debt I owed Mark. I sent him the money in the mail. I did this for my own dignity, not for him. One afternoon, there was a knock on my door. I opened it. It was Mark. He was holding the money I had sent. Elena, you did not have to pay this. I told you to move out. I pay my debts, I replied. Mark looked down. I know I made a mistake. The way I treated you was wrong. I was too afraid of the gossip. Can I take you to dinner tonight? Not as your landlord, but just as Mark? I looked at him. I remembered how he made me feel ashamed. You told me to leave my home because you were weak. I do not want dinner with you, Mark. Get out. I closed the door quickly. I was finally free from the debt, the gossip, and Mark.